The narration says, the result of the event that will take place the next day will have an unexpected impact on the world. If you read it in the original language, this sentence contains a small nuance that has not been translated and could imply the future development of Egghead. Therefore, in this video, I would like to share the true translation and discuss my theory on how the One Piece manga will develop in the future. What do you think will happen to Egghead? How do you think this incident will change the world? First of all, I would like to express my opinion frankly. I think that the truth of the Void Century and the darkness of the world government will be revealed to the whole world of One Piece. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Dawn Dusk. This channel focuses on interpretation in the original language, but I think your opinions are even more important. Everyone's comments make my content more meaningful, and I would be happy if this could be a channel where many people can interact and talk across borders. Let's analyze the narration phrase. It will be a shock to the world beyond imagination. This shows that Egghead's incident was something the world could never have predicted. Therefore, I don't think it represents Egghead's disappearance in Buster Call or the outbreak of war, events that have already occurred in the past, such as the Buster Call on Ohara and the War of Supremacy. So, I don't think the narration refers to such events. What is the event that will shake the world? I think the Dressrosa arc provides the biggest hint. Let me explain what I mean. In the Dressrosa arc, Doflamingo attempted to regain his status as a celestial dragon by presenting his father's head to the celestial dragon. Similarly, in the Egghead arc, York plans to become a celestial dragon by offering Vegapunk Stella's head to the government. In the Dressrosa arc, the Doflamingo initiated a survival game by covering the entire island with a birdcage. Similarly, in the Egghead arc, York started a death game by operating the Frontier Dome system and confining Vegapunk and the Straw Hat Pirates to the lab phase. Furthermore, in the Dressrosa arc, the Blackbeard Pirates and the Revolutionary Army were also involved in the incident, just like in the Egghead arc. In fact, Blackbeard's ship came near Egghead, and Shaka was seen on the phone with the dragon, although the details are unknown. And who helped defeat Doflamingo? Yes, the members of the Straw Hat Fleet. Therefore, as I predicted in this video, they could also be a factor in causing the Egghead incident. Do you remember the shocking incident that happened in Dressrosa? Thanks to the actions of Usopp and the Tontata clan, the people of Dressrosa were able to regain their forgotten memories. In chapter 1078, Bonnie broke down in tears when she learned about the Kamai's memory, which reminds us of Rebecca crying when she remembered Cyrus. Because of these reasons, I think that at the end of the Egghead arc, Kuma's memories and the truth about the Void Century, which the government has hidden, will be leaked to the world. This will be the Egghead incident that shocks the world, and York may be the one to leak the information. In chapter 1079, it is revealed that York knew that the world government wanted to eliminate Stella and all of Vegapunk's satellites. However, in the current situation, it seems impossible for York to become a celestial dragon. So, what will she do to achieve this goal? She could order the world government Saturn to allow her to become a celestial dragon and threaten to reveal the truth about the history of the Void Century if she doesn't get what she wants. Since Vegapunk was trying to decipher the poneglyph using the materials from Ohara, it is possible that he arrived at the same conclusions as Dr. Clover, or even better. But how will they spread this information around the world? In my opinion, the biggest clue is what York said in chapter 1079, and I beg you, there is a place in the lab that must not be damaged at all. Which place was she referring to? Two possibilities come to mind. It could be the room where punk records are kept or the NICU room. However, I would bet on the NICU room. I think the key to spreading the information is Kuma's ability. If we look at the NICU room, in the center of the room, there is an energy globe shaped like Kuma's paw, which was probably created by Kuma himself. Moreover, since S-Bear can use the same ability as Kuma, it is possible that memories and images can be stored there thanks to her ability. By the way, it seems that it was S-Bear's ability that sent S-Hawk somewhere. In fact, In chapter 1076, Vegapunk says, "It is unthinkable to disclose poneglyph research to the world government." For this reason, CP5 searched for evidence by going to Egghead, but they found nothing. If Vegapunk had simply hidden the information in punk records, it would have been immediately discovered, probably because the government knows his abilities. So I think Vegapunk has hidden the information inside an energy globe shaped like a paw. Government officials would never know that Kuma's memories and information on the Void Century are hidden here. Anyway, now Robin, Chopper, and Atlas are arriving at the old underground laboratory for Devil Fruit research, so they could also be captured. Perhaps Robin will discover an important truth about history from York here. Anyway, I have my own theory about Robin and Ohara and I intend to share it if you're interested. But if this video reaches 1000 likes, I would like to publish it for everyone. So if you're interested, let me know by giving a nice like. These days I'm very busy and I'm not able to fully dedicate myself to videos. Your likes and comments will help me a lot. Furthermore, in chapter 1067, Vegapunk expressed hope that people around the world could gain knowledge through punk records. However, since this function has not yet been implemented, it is believed that there is another way to spread memories around the world. At this point, Kuma's ability could make it possible. His ability allows him to transmit pain and memories to others through peripheral nerve signals transmitted wirelessly. Additionally, as I've already mentioned, his ability also allows objects to travel long distances. Therefore, memories and pain could also manifest in the form of a paw and fly far away. Perhaps York orders S-Bear to fly the knowledge of the Void Century shared with Stella or Kuma's memory of the NICU room around the world. If this hypothesis is valid, we might finally see the flashback on Joy Boy. Looking at the entire story of One Piece from a bird's eye view, it could be the best time to insert a flashback on the Void Century before a massive war. This will make it easier for readers to support Luffy by clarifying why the Celestial Dragon system should be dissolved. It seems that Kuma's memory is also important in revealing the darkness of the world government. What happened to him will be clear from now on, but the most important element could be the Sorbet Kingdom located in the Southern Sea. In chapter 1079, even Shanks mentions the Southern Sea, so this ocean could be an important place. I also thought of Baytrilla, where Ace was born. Anyway, for these reasons, I think the truth of the Void Century and also the darkness of the world government will be revealed to the entire world of One Piece. To support this theory, I want to highlight again the narrator's phrase, "destined to give an unexpected impact to the world." In Japanese, this kanji is pronounced Shoujiki, but in One Piece manga, it's pronounced shock. If you read the original version, you can notice that the word shock is used together with this kanji. Also shock. Perhaps this means that Kuma's ability will literally be able to shock the world. Furthermore, I want to share with you something else. In chapter 1079, we saw someone calling the world government requesting to speak with the top officials. If we think about it, the person who made the call should be York. But if we read the original version, we can notice something strange. This way of speaking clearly doesn't seem like York's. It's possible that he changed his way of speaking, but it seems more similar to Shaka than York. Behind this betrayal, there could be a real mastermind using York. Or there could be someone simply colluding with York. Let's now look at chapter 1078. When Vegapunk Stella asks York, "Is it all your business?" he doesn't give a clear answer. In chapter 1071, the Frontier Dome suddenly disappears, even though no one in the room did anything. At that time, York was in the control room with Shaka and Lilith. If Seraphim had been there, Shaka would have noticed him. So it's also possible that someone else with the ability to become invisible unlocked the Frontier Dome. Who could be colluding with York in this situation? I can think of Punk Records or Blackbeard's Pirates. As Jim is concerned, some ideas could creep into Punk Records. The 7 Vegapunks synchronize experience and knowledge through Punk Records. That is, at least York's thoughts have already entered punk records. In that case, it could explain why the system was activated and deactivated automatically. Furthermore, although the possibility is very low, there is also the possibility of Blackbeard's pirates. It's not clear so far, but their goal is probably to become the king of the world. And Vegapunk's technology makes it possible. Therefore, it's possible that Blackbeard was colluding with York. In chapter 1079, we can see Blackbeard's ship near Egghead. In the latest timeline of One Piece, we have not seen Devon, Kuzan, and Lafitte yet, so it is possible that they were invading Egghead with York's assistance. But another possibility could be a person with green blood, which gives the power of Ben Samu. Personally, I think York will eventually die. There are images that show him becoming more hysterical and eventually dying miserably. This is just an intuition without any particular basis, but it's likely that York will die tragically as revenge for revealing his secret to the world. Through this, we readers will learn the true power and horror of the world government. If the world were to become aware of this fact, it would probably do everything necessary to erase people's memories of the Void Century. Furthermore, the world government's biggest means of attack against Urasasu shock could be Uranus shock.